Hey everyone, welcome back to my workbench. Um, so I, of course, did finish up soldering on those wires to the joystick controller, which is at the back side of this board. But I did want to do is a quick sanity check to make sure the onboard controls still work with the that 5-volt line pulled up on the 315 5638 chip. So it does work. The onboard controls work, which is good. And I assumed it would because that 5-volt line is just a kind of a leftover from if you were powering up a controller. So that's why it works. Is it's still powering up. The good thing is it's still powering up all this circuitry too. So it's still running. So it's getting power from somewhere else. So that's good. So if you look, you can see, if I can actually press the button. Onboard controls still work. If I can get the buttons to line up. There we go. So buttons still work. It's a good sign. Down still works. That's a good sign. Pad comes off real easy. So that's a good sign. So what I'm going to do now is wire in the I'm going to go and wire in the DB9 connector to try out with my 6-button Genesis controller. So I'll get the iron fired back up. I like doing sanity checks along the way, and then once I get that wired in, I'll test it, and if that works, then I'll go ahead and start mounting everything back in the case. Well, first I have to drill holes in the case, and then I can start. I gotta figure out where the heck I'm gonna put the second controller at. This is the tricky bits here. Get this out of the way a minute. Alright. Power's disconnected. So now I just have to remember which one's which. Luckily it's in order, so as long as I start with one, I'll be able to finish off in the right spot. Yes, if you have sharp enough fingernails, you can rip apart IDC cable. And if you can't get it, you just grab a... Luckily, my nails are still strong. If you can't get it, you snip between the conductors. And you can fan it out. So... one, that's one, so it goes 1 2 3 4 7 6 9. 1 2 3 4 7. Checking my work. 7. 6. And that's 9. Okay, so it actually looks okay. I'll find out when I actually wire up the controller port. So this wire here is definitely going to 1. Where's my Sharpie? Why no Sharpie? There, Sharpie. Mark this one. holes out of here so they don't get damaged. The back of the box. I keep these little containers to keep all the parts from getting lost. And alright, so this is a DB9. They call it D, or sub D9. It looks like the letter D. And if you want to know if it's a male or female, I remember an engineer over 20 years ago saying, "Son, look under the skirt." That's how you know if it's male or female. And this is, of course, male. So pin 1, I can actually look down inside the connector. See if I can get it just right in the light. See if I can get the reflection just right here. You can actually look inside and see. I have to take my word for it. It's this one up here. I like manual focus cameras. Okay, 1. So that's 1 here, which means you're 1. So it goes, the top row goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it goes 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is 1. So I have to lose it. What I'll do is use my little extra hands here. I'll pre-tin these up, make my life a little easier. Probably should have changed tips, but I'll be alright. Get some flux on there. Hold on just a second. Where is it at? Here's one. In case I get any flux or solder splatter, end up on the bag, not on the console. This was originally for PC board. I wonder if I can do that if I have a small one, or I'll just solder right to it. I might solder to it because I have so many space requirements in here. These tinned up okay. Yeah, it's taking solder pretty well actually. I'll just tin up those wires real good. Real good. Oh, my grammar's going to hell with COVID. Okay. Again, I've left the protective film on the Nomad's, the new screen. When I do the final assembly, I'll put some gloves on and to avoid fingerprints and do the reassembly. Nothing bugs me more than fingerprints and dirt. It's like, it should look like it just rolled off the factory floor. If you are, when I mod systems, I really try to make it look like it's brand new when you get it back. Even though it might be a 20-year-old system, I still want you to feel like you're, or 30-year-old system, feeling like you just got something brand new. Gotta tin these up. There's actually flux inside the solder, so what'll happen is you'll get little spurts of flux, and I don't want to have to clean that board. I strip these pretty long, so I got a lot of surface area when I tack it down. I was gonna go with a little perf board there, but I just don't have the room for it inside the system. Okay, here's one. Get you a little closer. You could be friends. little more heat. Go. Get a better view what I'm working on here. I'll probably end up just wrapping this whole thing in Kapton tape. Otherwise, I'd have to do little individual segments of shrink tubing, and that's a little bit of a pain. And you've got, looks like 200 thou separation there, so it doesn't matter. Where is my static strap? Hold on. Sorry, I just felt a little weird without the static strap on. I know this stuff really isn't all that sensitive at this point, but why not be paranoid, huh? What's the worst that can happen? Something doesn't get damaged. Problem with ESD, where's my gray here? Problem with ESD is it leads to latent failures. So even if I have it on my bench testing for a week, it won't show up. It could be months, could be years, might never happen. But when there's an ESD event, it causes a micro damage to the circuitry. Okay, move this back just a little bit. I give myself a little more room to work here. The F must be pretty small, or pretty. This camera must be like an f5.6 or something. A lot of it's still in focus. That's good. Come on. Quit turning on me. What the? Really? Why must you betray me? The poor artist blames his tools, but this is pissing me off. Okay. Wow. Sigh. So the person who sent this in was wondering about turntables. I left a comment and let them know my opinion on turntables. I like Audio-Technica tables personally. They're just a good combination of value for the money. You can dip your toes with an LP60. Those are around $100, or they're about, I think it's like 130 or 40 if they have USB. And then they have your next one up is your 120, and they each have their advantages. The 60s are nice. The LP60s are nice because they are fully automatic tables. So if you just want to throw a record on and not really think about it, there's no real adjustments. Push that a little higher. There's no real adjustments. There's no counting weight balance. There's no anti-skate control on it. So, and the counterbalance is just a spring, which is good and bad because you never have to adjust it. But your downforce can be a little high. It's usually about 3.5 grams on a LP60. Some people don't like running their records that heavy, their stylus that heavy. So the 120 is nice because it has the adjustable counterweight. It's a direct descendant of the old Technics turntables, and it's nice because it's quartz locked and it's direct drive, so there's no belt ever break on it. And the quartz lock means you're going to be dead on rotational speed. My LP60 actually had to go in there and hit one of the trim pots in there to my 33 RPM was actually playing just a touch fast, and I used a strobe wheel to figure out to get it back into get it the rate back to normal. It's appropriate. Oh, that's a big glob of solder. That's kind of ugly. Okay. Smooth it out. Okay, so this is, where was one? Always double check my work. One. It's on my right side. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is right here. Strip these all back. Probably should have stripped these all to begin with. Oh well. Mistakes have been made. People will be blamed. Yeah, but the LP I like about the 120 is it comes with a removable head shell, so you can replace the whole thing if you want to upgrade it to like a DJ table. Not to say that the cartridge is part of the 60 is bad at all. It's just, it's definitely a step up from like your Crosley Cruisers or something like that. It's a true magnetic pickup, and I found if you upgrade the stylus to an elliptical instead of a round, you get pretty darn good performance. The one that comes with is just a round. It's the white cartridge. If you get the yellow or the green is elliptical. I like the elliptical cartridges. That LP120 was nice because it actually comes with elliptical stylus. Get some solder on these. Yeah, so the 120 is actually a heck of a turntable. It's sounds great. The only problem is you can't forget about it, because if you walk away from the room, it's just going to sit there in the run-out track when the record's done and slowly carve a groove into the run-out track on your records. It's happened to me once. I forgot about it for like an hour, so no real harm done. But it's like, oh, son of a diddly. Come back in the room and I heard that weird shink, shink, shink sound as it goes back and forth in that run-out groove. Oh, can't get enough heat on this one. It's playing tricks with my eyes, actually. There's a row of pins behind these pins, and so I end up like double visioning it, so I can't see what I'm doing. See, it came off again. Let's try from a different angle. Yeah, it might be easier to see this way. A little too much wire on that one. So yeah, the 120. I love that table. I got that for Christmas. No, I got that for my birthday back in March. Wife got it for me. It's very nice of her. Oh, son of a bitch. Okay. This channel is not meant for children. Not I could imagine a child would want to watch some mid-40s guy solder wires. And if they do, you probably should seek help for your child. Come on, you smarmy bastard. Fingers burning. Please stay on. Oh, freaks. Insert a motorbang here. Okay. Every YouTube video doing this is made for children. Ugh. Bite me. You think after like the 400th time they would get the hint and just default to that. But no, you have to click on it every single time. Oh, why? Why do you mock me? again, the 120 is a great table. Nothing wrong with it. I've had the LP60 for a couple years now, and it's a really good table too. I use it down here in the basement when I want to listen to some records. I had it hooked up to this delightfully ancient set of Altec Lansing speakers. Come on, Dave. You could do it, man. Steady. Steady. Okay. Wow, you did not want to solder on there. It's ironic because most of my record collection is actually modern music. All stuff in the last 10 years. I do have a lot of older stuff too from like thrift stores and what's it, half price books, I think. Got quite a few from there too. But actually most of my collection I bought new off of Amazon, of all things. And I've gotten a couple of records off of eBay too, but usually I've had the most luck with just buying it new. And ironically, not ironically, but conveniently, Amazon has it, so for quite a few albums you get to download the digital version too, so it's actually a pretty decent deal. I have a few albums that I only have on vinyl. I don't even have them on CD or digital download. I still have a CD player in my living room. I have a 5-disc Sony changer, which is a really nice CD changer with remarkably few features, so there's less stuff to break. Why do you keep moving on me? Remarkably few things to break other than the fact it has this complex as heck arrangement to let you swap disc while it's playing, which is actually kind of cool. Nothing wrong with CDs. I just think records sound a little better, and I'm not a huge fan of I have to make a confession. I have never bought digital music just for the sake of buying digital music. I've never used iTunes. I've never bought a digital track, only if it came with my record, which is kind of funny. I've never actually paid for a digital track because I've never bought one. And all like the stuff I keep on my phone is just ripped from my CDs. And actually, my good turntable, my 120, is a USB turntable. So if I really wanted to, I could digitize the music too. But I've never gotten around to that. I got enough on my phone. So many things I've never gotten around to, like buying digital music. I even sent an SMS text message until like 2 years ago. I just never used it. I don't know if it makes me a Luddite or what, but I'm just not that into some of the things kids are really into these days. They're rock and roll. Of course, what am I talking about? That's my last record I bought was Lady Gaga, the Joanne. Bitchin' album, by the way. If you like Lady Gaga, really recommend it. Yes, old guys listen to Lady Gaga. I have been following her since her first album. I knew she was going to be big. Yeah, you haven't really heard some of these albums that you heard them on vinyl, though. They're very different. Alright. Wish me luck. Oh, that's funny. It's the exact same port they used. Huh. Go figure. Oh, I don't like that flapping around. This is the dangerous stage. Everything's kind of flippity floppity, man. I don't like flippity. Oh. Start button fell off. Let's see what happens here. I've never done this before. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, make sure I didn't blow anything up. Okay, good sign. Screen came on. I'll turn this light off here. Yeah, maybe not. Once upon a mouse. Let's see. Hyperkin controller. Well, the good news is I didn't break anything. The bad news is it doesn't work yet. So the question is, does it not work with this controller because it's a knockoff, or is there something else going on? Let's see. So everything works on that end. Okay, so no well, that's interesting. Pause button works, but none of the well, that's weird. Okay, so I have to do some investigation to see what's going on here, because the pause button is working, so something's going through. I gotta see if I have a bad connection or somebody lied to me with the layout. So I will do some investigation. But I'm not going to do this on the video because that'd be a little bit boring, and I'm already up to half an hour now, so that should be enough for now. So progress, it's wired in. Doesn't really work, but kind of works, because at least I have a button working, so something's going on here. And I think that's one of the switch buttons too, so that's interesting. Huh. Yeah, no movement yet. Oh, where's that pad at? Here it is. Oh. So the onboard controls are not working with this plugged in. Let's see what happens. Let me unplug it. Okay, so the onboard controls still work with an unplug. So there's got to be something interaction with this guy. Okay, I'll do some more investigation. But for now, that's it for tonight because I've worked on this half an hour. And I need to do a little bit of research. I might need to open this controller up and look at some test points to see what's going on. Alright everyone, thanks for watching, and progress. Not perfect, but progress. At least I got a button working. And if for some reason it disables the onboard controls when it's plugged in, which is probably not a horrible thing, or it might, well, it's kind of working because it means there's got to be at least a ground and 5 volts getting out there. So maybe some of the pins are, whoever wrote up the instructions got the pins reversed or something. I'll double check my wiring on this in a little bit. So everyone, thanks for watching for now, and I will hopefully do some more for tomorrow. So good night everyone, stay safe.